Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. We are less than 48 hours away from election day, an election that is going to be the most consequential in our history, and that is actually being seen around the world. Where things stand right now is that almost 70% of the individuals who had voted in 2016, almost 70% of the 130 million individuals who had voted in 2016 have already voted, have already cast their ballots. This is just unbelievable. There has been record early voting and a record early turnout. And so far, it seems like Democratic voters have turned out in larger numbers than Republican voters based on their registrations, whether they're registered Democrats or registered Republican. But there's one individual who predicts a surge of Republican voters on election night. In other words, this individual not only predicts an election night surge in the next 48 hours, but also that, I quote, "that's why we are going to win." And this individual is Republican Party Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel. Ronna McDaniel said that high Republican turnout on election day will be enough to take President Trump past the finish line, to take President Trump past the 270 electoral votes, despite a huge surge in early voting from Democrats. This is quite interesting. I want to know what you think, what my viewers and subscribers think in the comment section below. Let me know if you think that Republican voters will turn out in large numbers on Tuesday in order to be able to get President Trump past the finish line if you're a supporter of President Trump. We live in such a partisan climate that, if you're not a supporter of President Trump, you're probably going, yes, But I want to know what my viewers and subscribers think about this particular comment from Republican Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel. And she said, I'm actually going to quote Ronna McDaniel now: Republicans will have a surge that day. We are going to have that, and that's why we are going to win. That's what Ronna McDaniel said, and this is what she told Margaret Brennan of CBS News on Face the Nation. So this is pretty big comment. Keep in mind that we all know what happened in 2016. That the polls were wrong. Let's just put it that way. The polls were wrong. So the question now arises, what's going to happen on election night? I've mentioned this before on my channel and I'll say it again. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. We all Americans first. What we need is a decisive victory we need a decisive winner, hopefully by a clear margin, hopefully by a large margin, so that it's not a narrowly won election. It's not a contested election. It's not something that goes to the courts and sort of aggravates the agony. We need something that's fair, something that's decisive. Hopefully one side wins by a major margin. But it's very clear that the pandemic has indeed changed things, and a lot of Democrats, I just want to be clear, a lot of registered Democrats have gone into the absentee and early voter category based on trends you're seeing from all major news stations. And a lot of Republicans, according to Ronna McDaniel, will vote on election day. In other words, they'll vote in 48 hours and they'll cast their ballot that way, according to McDaniel. She said, so we feel very strong that we have a surge coming on election day. Now, I want to be clear. That is what you would expect a Republican spokesperson to say. You don't expect a Republican spokesperson to say, well, we're not sure if our voters are going to turn out on election night. So, she'll say what she has to say. But I want to know from my viewers and subscribers, have you already voted, or are you planning on voting on election day? You don't have to, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to share, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. You don't even have to share who you're voting for. And that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, have you already voted, or will you be voting on election day? I can tell you I've already voted. I voted 2 weeks ago. And this is what Ronna McDaniel continued to say. She said, we are contacting these voters right now all weekend through the next few days to make sure that they turn out to vote. And as you know, President Trump has been crisscrossing several states, unlike former Vice President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who are focused on specific states like Pennsylvania and Florida. So, the president has been really very busy, jumping from one state to another, doing lots and lots of rallies in order to be able to get enough support to be able to cross the 270 finish line. This is a very competitive race. At this point in time, it looks like one side is leading, but all races tend to narrow leading up to the finish line. And And I want to know what you think about this entire situation. So again, she said we are contacting these voters right now all weekend through the next few days to make sure that they turn out to vote. So I thought that was interesting. Now, I want to be clear again, more than 92 million individuals have already cast their ballots, which represent close to 70% of the total voter turnout in the 2016 presidential election. So the question is the gap going to narrow leading up to election day? That's question number one. Question number two is, have you already voted? And if not, hopefully hopefully you will be voting on election day, and hopefully you've made plans to get there safely, to get there on time, and to make your voice heard. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section below. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I really appreciate you watching. And I've done a lot of coverage on the election, on stimulus news, on unemployment benefits. So please check out all the playlists on our channel about the stimulus news, about unemployment benefits. And, I really appreciate you being a member of our growing community. One of the unique aspects of our community is the community itself. In the comment section below, you'll find individuals from both sides. We can engage in a respectful, articulate, intelligent conversation with each other. I know there's a lot of frustration with both sides. Both sides could have done better to hopefully have had more stimulus by this time. But at this moment in time, in the next 48 hours, all eyes of the entire country, of the entire world, in fact, are on the US presidential election. There are individuals all across the world who are looking at the US presidential election because the world is in a very unusual, precarious state right now, with the United Kingdom going to a second phase of lockdowns. And, we're going through a big surge in our country. So hopefully, hopefully we can get through this surge, and hopefully we can all, hopefully medically get through this, and also politically we can have some sort of a resolution to this whole this whole element of anger that's gripping the nation. So again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. I've had the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. I want to help you live your American dream once we get through this bizarre crisis that we live in, once we get through this unbelievable election in the middle of a pandemic. So do you think that there's going to be a surge of Republican voters leading up to election day? Do you think, are you going to vote in person? Because at this point in time, it's probably too late to mail in your ballot, regardless of where you live. Are you planning on voting in person to make your voice heard? Hopefully you are voting, because I do believe that is something that we should all exercise. Again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Here's some information about me. Please check out my video, and right here you'll see the opportunity to subscribe so you can get more alerts from our channel. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon in the next video. Take care. Bye.